Hi everyone, welcome back to Wildwood Cottage and welcome back to Wales. It's lovely to have you here. Hope you're all doing well and I hope you're all having a good week so far. Today we are going to be having a look at how I manage our household money, how I manage all the money that comes into this house and how I manage it when it goes out of the house. I use an envelope system which has been in use for years, a long time before it became fashionable. And I always remember my mum keeping envelopes with money in it. And I always remember sort of older people as well. I don't know whether my nan did, but I remember older people in times past always kept money in envelopes and tins and under the mattress. It's just always the way that people have done things. So I've decided that for the next 12 months anyway, this is how I'm going to be managing my money. And I've been doing it since just before Christmas. I did do it a few years ago when we were living in our other house. I had envelopes and I had all the money put away into envelopes for things like your rent, your gas, your electric, your phone. I used to keep that, but now I'm keeping a much more detailed ledger. So what I do every Monday is I sit down at my table and I get my little pink book out, and it has an expenses tracker page just like this. And what I do is I sit down and I fill it out and I put things down like rent, phone, electric, council tax, TV license. Now, they're the things that come out via direct debit in this house. So I always make a note of what's going to be coming out. And then once I've filled in this book, which I fill in with things that I am putting money away for, like appliances, decorating, all that kind of thing, I write that down in here as well. And then I tally it all up. I then look at how much I can afford to put in each box in the book there. And then basically that's what I go to the bank for, to draw out of the bank. So this system works for me. I also have just an ordinary notebook, A4 size notebook. It's just a lined book. It's just one of these. I need to fill out February into March. I lost the plot a bit. But this just helps me keep a track of where the cash is going, when it goes out of the bank, when the direct debits go out of the bank. It just helps me keep on top of things. So this is my new book. I've been doing this one for a while, but this is a relatively new book to me, earlier this year. So I'm going to turn the camera down and we're going to have a look at how I do my envelopes. And I'll show you how I manage my system. This is my savings system, and my journal book where I write everything down. Now, this is my account book, this book here. I'm not going to show you my figures, but it's just a normal book, A4 book, and I just write down whatever gets spent cash, whatever gets spent through the bank personal wise, and that just keeps me on top of our spending and shows me where I'm wasting money. I've also got this book here, which again is just for keeping track of what I want to save and what I have to spend out on my bills, like my rent, electric, oil, wood. The things that I'm putting into these folders all gets put down on the book there. So that's one thing I'm doing. Now, this is also a book that I'm using to keep track of what I put into these envelopes here every week when I put my money in. These folders are really good. They're little zip folders. I did get them on Temu, but they were about £2, I think, with these wallets included. And yeah, I just use them for everything. So these are, as you can see, I've already stuffed them. I've already been putting money into them. And this is how I managed to save for the car that we had to buy. So I just basically have a list of things that I want to save in this book. I've got the things for my rent, how much my rent is and stuff, money I get off Peggy, and what I'm going to put in my savings challenges. So all that goes in here, and I fill out a fresh page every week when I'm putting the money in. Now, I put the money in yesterday, and at the moment I have 4 folders for my household. I've got my car one, which in here has my MOT and repairs. I put money away every week for that. My fuel money, which at the moment is £15 a week because I don't go anywhere. My car insurance, I'm putting money away for that. And my car tax, which is 165, I think now. And tyres. So they're things, just general expenses for the car to keep the car on the road, because my husband uses my car for work when his van is in the garage, and he's self-employed and needs to be able to get to work. So that's that. I've got my miscellaneous spending, which is my bulk food. Now, during the war, you could save your points up and you could get extra quantities of oats and flour and things like that if it was available. So I'm keeping a tally in here, which at the moment I've got £10 in there, I think, £15 in there. And when it comes around to needing to buy flour, I need to buy oats, I buy it in bulk. And then I just use my war ration quantity every week, and that just keeps the costs down, really. I do the same with flour, and I might do it with rice, but I'm not sure, because we don't eat a lot of rice and we don't eat a lot of pasta, so it's not really worth me buying that in bulk. It's only worth buying in bulk when you know you're going to eat it and you're going to eat it often. So yeah, it's just a good way of keeping costs down, because the last thing I bought was a 16 kilogram bag of bread flour, because I use that all the time, and it was £20, I think, 19.98 or something like that, and it's a really good flour. It's a very strong bread flour, and yeah, it's normally £2.99 a bag for me for 1.5 kilos. So instead of spending £30 every time I need to buy flour, over the same amount of flour, I spent £19. So it just makes money sense to be able to do it that way. But I do only use my war ration, sort of my coupon size amount every week. I've got emergency food storage. Now, this is something I've been doing for a long time. I've been doing this since about 2012, and I've always kept a storage pantry either in a cupboard or under the stairs, or now it's out in my garage on shelves. And when I want something on coupon, if I don't go to the shop to buy it, I'll get it out of storage and then make a note I need to replace it. So I make a note on my coupons that I've taken it. So yeah, for me, at the moment, especially with food prices going up, it's like an investment in cheaper prices. Um, and also, if my husband's off sick, it means then if he's not working, there's not the worry and the strain of being able to put food on the table. So I've always had a food storage. Also, here, living where I live in the middle of the countryside, if we get snowed in or there's too much ice for me to get out to the shops, it means then I can still cook a meal and prepare a meal. So if the car's off the road, it means I can still shop. So yeah, that's my emergency food storage. It does need replenishing at the moment. So when I go, I'll take you with me. My food is in here as well, my food money. Now, I'm not going to spend food money this week. I'm going to spend out of my emergency food storage and my bulk food storage this week. So this now is going to go into savings, and I've got £100 in here. There you go. That's what I'm saving this week from not buying the war ration food, because I keep a separate budget for the other two from my ordinary, because I don't shop every week for that. I only shop once every 6 months or so for my emergency food storage, so I don't shop that often. But that's now going to go into my savings wallet. I've got toiletries, I've got my target for selling online, and that's my no spend challenge for clothes and my no spend challenge for food. And I keep a note of what I've managed to save, but it's not up to date at the moment. Yeah, so that's what's in that wallet. And then I've got my things for Stripe and for the house, like decorating costs, buildings insurance, decorating costs, oil and wood, appliances fund, because I want to replace our fridge freezer and I want to buy just a counter fridge, and I'm going to put it in the pantry. One, it's going to keep down on the damp in there and warm the walls up to stop them getting damp. And two, I don't use the fridge freezer in here all the time, to be honest. I just put stuff in the freezer to keep it full, to keep it economical. But yeah, it uses £90 a year for the fridge freezer. And if I buy a new economical fridge, it's going to cost me about £30 a year. So I just think it's going to save me money in the long run. And I've got the big freezer outside. I've also got Stripe's vet fees and foods wallet, which has got money in it at the moment. I've got a wallet for the chickens, and I've got a wallet for supplements because cod liver oil was encouraged during the war, so we have that every day. We also take a vitamin D tablet because we don't get a lot of sunshine. We don't eat a lot of fish or meat. And yeah, it's just a good way of keeping track of what I'm spending on them. And my garden fund, which has got money in it at the moment, I haven't spent it. So yeah, I've got £33 in there, I think, at the moment. Oh, £26 in there at the moment. So that's my things for my savings, for putting money away to keep on track of what I have to pay out in the house. Now this one here is my savings challenges. Now that £100 that I've got here in my food wallet, and remember which one it's in. So what I do with this, just to make things a little bit more fun, is I do these little savings challenges. Now this one's a £5 challenge, this one's a £50 challenge, a £100 challenge, and a small savings challenge. So what I like to do is I like to put money away in these. There's money for David, money for me, birthdays in here. I try to put money away towards birthdays and Mother's Day and Father's Day, and Christmas towards Christmas next year as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my £100, this money here, and there's where's my pen? There's a £20 here, and a 15 and a 5. So I'm going to put 40 in this one. This, you don't have to do this. This just makes it a little bit more fun for me. And then at the end of the month, I can add it up and see what I've managed to save. So that's going, 40 is going in there for that one. And then I've got a £50 one. Don't think I've got any £10 notes I can change it for. Where's Stripe? Okay, so for this one is a £50 challenge. So I'm going to put 50 in there. And this one's a £5. So I'm going to put 10 in there. 10 in that one. £50 in this one. There we go. So that's the £100 now put away. Right, so what I'll do at the end of the month is I'll take out what's in the savings challenge and see how much I've got and make a note of it, and then leave it in there. And then once it starts getting full, say in about 3 months' time, I'll count it, see what I've got, and then pop it into the savings account, and then that can go towards our month ahead savings. Because as I say, I want to make sure we've got a bit of a buffer for my husband. And then if he is sick, he doesn't have to worry so much about going out to work. I also do have another savings challenge wallet. So when my husband earns extra money, or when I earn on eBay, or anything I earn on YouTube, which isn't a lot, yeah, that then goes into this wallet here. And I've got a £10 challenge in there. I've got £2 a week challenge. I've got £7 a week challenge, which is basically a £1 a day challenge, which at the end is going to give me £365. I've also got a £20 challenge as well, a weekly saver, and a £5 Friday. So I set myself different challenges and different amounts. And then when we've got a little bit extra money, or when I've earned a little bit extra money, it goes into this wallet here. So I have been investing in a few books. So there's not as much to go in as there was. But that's just how I keep on top of our finances. And I find that that works out really well for us. Um, and yeah, it's just a good way of keeping on top of things, because we did have debt before, and we have agreed we're not going to go back into debt again. And yeah, just a sec. That's better. You're not too close now. Yeah, we have been in debt before, and we've decided that we don't want to go back into debt again. So, my lemon water's lovely. Yeah, during the war, people didn't have the luxury of being able to go and buy things on credit and go and borrow money. So I'm pretty much doing what people would have done in those days, in that time. That if you didn't save for what you wanted, you didn't get it. And that's kind of the mindset that we have in this house. If we don't have the money, we don't get it. We don't want to end up borrowing off ourselves and taking out of our savings. And this is just a good way of being accountable, really, for the money that you have coming in, and keeping on top of what you do have coming in and where it goes. Because I was muddling along up until about 6 months ago, and I wasn't really keeping a note of where the money was going, and then finding that I didn't have enough money to be able to put it towards the things it needed to. But having this system for me, it's all there laid out, and I put the money for my rent, my council tax, my electricity and my phone bill all goes through the bank. They're all on direct debits. So what I do is I take the money, when I take the money from the account, I then put the rent money and everything straight into where it's supposed to go, and I put that away weekly. I put that away weekly. And then by the end of the month, when the bills come out, the money's there and I don't have to worry about it. And then the money that's left then is then what gets allocated into these envelopes that I've got, that I've just shown you. So what I do is I work out in my book how much I need to draw out of the bank to make sure all my envelopes are filled. If my husband, and I've got a set amount as well as to what I think they're all going to cost every year, or every month. So what I do then is I work out how much money I need to take out of the bank each week. Now, if my husband has, excuse me, I've got fluff up my nose. If my husband has a quiet week in work, what I do is I reduce that amount down, but still put some away. So say it's £10 for oil and wood, I'll put £5 away. And then I'm still putting something, because even if you put in £5 away every year, it still adds up, doesn't it? It still adds up to £260 a year, which spread over a load of envelopes, say 10 envelopes, that's £2,600 a year. So there's still ways in which you can save, even if you don't have a lot. I started off with the £1 a day challenge, which is where I was putting £1 a day away. But then I thought, well, I may as well just put £7 a week away. So that's what I do with that one. And then I thought, well, I can do £5 a week. So I put £5 a week away. So just from those two challenges, it's going to mount up to a lot of money. I'll just work out what the £7 is, just a sec. 7 times 52. That's £364 for my savings challenge of £7 a week, and 260. So that, just from those two challenges alone, simple as they are, I can save £624 a year. So that's just how I think about it. It's just a small amount that then becomes a bigger amount. If you don't start with a penny, what is it? Look after the pennies and the pounds take care of themselves. So yeah, that's just how I manage my finances. I thought it might be interesting to you to see from the wartime kitchen and the way that we live here at Wildwood Cottage. I thought it might be interesting to you just to see how I manage our finances. Anyway, I think that's it for now. I just thought that I'd do a bit of a little frugal finances thing with you and show you how I'm saving my money, and show you that some frugal things I'm doing to save money. At the moment, the sun's out and I'm going to go out into the garden. And I think that will be it for today. So if you do want to keep up to date with my videos, do like and subscribe. Do hit that bell and that'll tell you when I upload new videos. Anyway, I'm going to go. My recipes are over on KOFI. And if you want to purchase my recipe, do please feel free to donate to me £1 for the downloadable PDF. If not, you don't have to pay anything, just purchase it for free. But I've just put a donation of £1 just for all the work that I do put on into this channel. And if you'd like to put by me a cup of coffee or the sleepy dog next to me a bone, you can also do that via my KOFI account as well. So I'll see you in the next video. Do like and subscribe. Do check out the description bar and the I button in the corner by popping your cursor over the screen. And I'll see you again in the next video. So take care and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Bye bye.